Hi, Scott Orlin with Cinema-Magazin. The new TV series is called Ratched, coming your way, and I'm here with one of the stars, Cynthia Nixon. Cynthia, I have to admit, I was incredibly envious of watching you in this show driving the coolest cars.
Yes, those cars are beautiful. They're not the easiest to handle, but they are very beautiful.
And also, too, I mean, obviously you spent years on Sex and the City where fashion was such an important component. But this is a throwback. I mean, what these women went through. Do you feel differently? Is it a more feminine attire? Is it a more formal attire?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily more feminine. We're coming right out of World War II, and I think the suits that my character wears still have a kind of a very militaristic kind of flair to them, but definitely a formality in terms of wearing hats and so often wearing gloves, and certainly, of course, always, stockings and heels. But I think just more of a gentility and a formality, which is, of course, very different than our period that we're living in right now.
I think it's kind of ironic in a little way, and maybe a lot of people in Germany don't know this, but in the show you play this woman who's working for the governor, and you actually ran for governor of
Yes.
New York.
Yes.
So
Yes.
talk about, if you were given the power of a governorship, what are some of the things that you would want to start doing? I mean, like, this governor was kind of viewing it more for political gains, but what would be your agenda?
So I think, well, one of the reasons that I ran was, the governor, particularly in New York State, is the person who really determines what the budget is going to be and what the money is going toward. So for me, I've been fighting for almost 20 years for not just a bigger education budget, but the money that New York school children are actually owed by the highest court in the land. And I think at this moment, what we see is so many corporations and also super, super wealthy people who are not being appropriately taxed. And the pandemic is certainly exposing this even more, but even before the pandemic, we need to be a country that realizes that we have a lot of wealth, and we need to tax people appropriately and pay for things like medical care and education.
One of the fascinating journeys of your character is she's coming to terms with her sexuality, and especially at that time, how to deal with it. You went through the similar experience where we got there. Has it gotten easier, do you think, in a way, or is there still the stigma that outer society has?
So I don't think that Gwendolyn is actually coming to terms with her sexuality. I think she's very aware of what her sexuality is. She's trying to find a way to navigate. We hear so many stories about, particularly in post-war America, if you think about the McCarthy era and how many lesbians and gay men's professional lives were completely destroyed by this gay witch hunt that accompanied the Red Scare and the communist witch hunt. Yes, absolutely. It's like night and day nowadays. Not for everyone in every part of the country, not in every family, and certainly in other parts of the world. Being gay or being even perceived as gay can be a death sentence. But I think certainly in our country, we've seen an enormous sea change of acceptance, not just on the coast, but for people in every state and every demographic. And of course, nobody more than young people, which is great news for the future.
Last fun question for you. In one of the beginning episodes, I'm not giving anything away, you take Sarah's character to this super cool restaurant overlooking the cliffs, there. So if you were to take me to a super cool restaurant, wherever, what would be the restaurant that you would want to take me to that would be like, wow, this is great food?
I guess my absolute favorite restaurant of all time is called Blue Hill at Stone Barns, and it's in Westchester, and it's this amazing restaurant that's on the property of an actual working farm. And that's to me the best kind of, the farm to table, the food that was growing or walking around just a few hours before it hit your plate.
Well, I can't wait. I'm excited. Cynthia Nixon, always such a pleasure. And this is
Thank
Scott
you.
Orlin. Till next time.
Thank you.